Before we begin, let me ask you something. Imagine being completely alone in one of the coldest places on Earth, a place where the temperature drops to minus 82 degrees, where the wind can freeze exposed skin in seconds, and where the nearest human voice might be hundreds of miles away. What would you do? If something out there was trying to call for help, not with a phone, not with the radio, but through the ice itself. This is the story of Daniel. And the night he heard
Seismic
something
data
no
is
one else noticed,
fluctuating wildly.
Daniel was stationed at Aurora
It's not a
9,
natural
a small
pattern.
Arctic research station surrounded by endless frozen land. For miles in every direction, there was nothing but snow, ice, and violent wind. That night, the thermometer outside the station door read minus 82 degrees. Inside the lab, Daniel sat in front of glowing monitors, studying seismic sensors buried deep beneath the frozen ocean. Most nights, the readings were silent, but suddenly, one sensor triggered. A small signal appeared on the screen. At first, Daniel thought it was a glitch, but then the signal repeated. Tap, tap, tap. Slow, weak, but deliberate, Daniel replayed the data. Tap, tap. Something was hidden in the ice, and it was coming from 2 kilometers away. Daniel grabbed his heavy thermal jacket and stepped into the storm. Outside, the Arctic wind screamed like a living thing. Snow blasted across the ground, and visibility was almost gone. He started his snowmobile and drove into the frozen darkness. 20 minutes later, he reached the location. The sensor pole stood alone in the snow. Daniel knelt down and brushed away the ice. Then he shined his flashlight through the frozen surface. At first, he saw nothing. Then suddenly, something moved. 2 bright eyes looked back at him from beneath the ice. A small Arctic fox, trapped beneath the frozen surface, inside a pocket of icy water. The poor animal had been tapping the ice with its paw, hoping someone would hear it. Daniel knew he didn't have much time. He grabbed the thermal drill from his snowmobile and carefully began cutting through the ice. Steam burst into the freezing air as the drill burned through the frozen surface. Then suddenly, crack! The ice opened. Daniel reached down quickly and lifted the tiny fox from the freezing water. The animal was weak and nearly frozen. He wrapped it inside his jacket and rushed back to the station through the storm. Inside Aurora 9, Daniel placed the fox near the boot and gently removed the ice from its fur. For several long minutes, nothing happened. Then the fox blinked. Its chest rose slowly. It was alive. For the next few days, while the storm raged outside, Daniel cared for the fox. He kept it warm, fed it small pieces of fish, and slowly the animal grew stronger. Before long, the fox began walking around the station, following Daniel everywhere he went. In the loneliest place on Earth, Daniel realized he wasn't alone anymore. 5 days later, the storm cleared. Daniel opened the station door. Bright Arctic sunlight stretched across the frozen land. The fox stepped outside and looked back at him. For a moment, neither moved. Then the fox ran across the snow and disappeared into the endless white horizon. But just before it vanished, it turned back one last time, as if to say, thank you. And maybe, just maybe, to remind us of something important. Because somewhere tonight, an animal might be cold, hungry, and waiting for someone to notice, just like Daniel did, because sometimes saving a life starts with hearing something no one else noticed.